Hi everyone, here we are, and today for all of those of you that have been asking for models that might have some issues with their skin that go beyond dark under eye circles or matching of their skin. Remember why I started my line in the first place? Because I had really bad acne and acne scarring. Well, today I'm lucky enough to have the pleasure to meet Sammy, who has some similar issues that I've had growing up, and maybe she'd like to share them with you. And here we have Sammy. Hi there. Thank you very much for volunteering yourself. Okay, Sammy, so why don't you tell me, what would you like for us to basically take care of? You've had issues with your skin with some discoloration and some acne issues, and
basically it's just a lot of redness and raised bumps that have always been tough to cover up.
Right, and when you use products, you get flakiness, and if you don't use anything, it just gets red, and you can't be in the sun now because you're taking medication, so you want something that's going to give you some protection and soothe your skin, and also not be sitting on top of your skin like a layer of a product. All right. And looking at you, all I see is a beautiful young woman with incredible eyes, beautiful eyebrows. Look at your lips. So I cannot wait to start. All right, we're going to begin with a little bit of priming moisturizer, and you can use whatever moisturizer you might have. I obviously like the Pearl Priming Moisturizer, and we're also going to do a little bit of your brows. I just want to clean them up, and you don't always have to pluck or wax. For me, whenever I would try to go get wax, by the time the bumps went away, all the hair would come back. So I had to figure out something else to do. And when I work, I learned a great little trick of using a little razor. Okay, this is an eyebrow razor. Okay, we're gonna give you one of your own little razors. So, if you notice, I put a little bit of the priming moisturizer on your brows, and that will basically soothe them and also get them moist and ready to be trimmed. And if you don't have any moisturizer, just close your eyes for a second. You can also just use some hair conditioner. But does that feel like anything?
Nope.
And we've just did one entire eye. Now we're moving on the other. And this is great. It does not have your hair grow back any thicker or in any sort of a weird way. And that was it. See, all the little hairs are here. We clean them off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we just go right back over your eyebrows, and they've been cleaned up. Yeah, it's a great, fast little trick that we learned, because usually on shoots and on television, you can't do it, and then you can't pluck and then send someone right on to with the redness. There you go. Okay, and this will become yours. And now we're going to begin. So the first thing we want to do is we want to match your foundation. All right, so I'm looking at these. This is the HD Dual Foundation, and this might be a little dark. And the best way to match foundation is to take the lightest color and to apply it on the bottom part of your face, because eventually you want your lower part of your face and your neck to match. This looks a little bit dark to me. So we're going to put this one back, and now I'm going to go to the light. This is the light HD Dual Foundation, and let's see. If the light is too light, although the light is actually going to be good, so we always can make it warmer. So we can always add a little bit of now the darker to make sure, but between these two colors, your face and your neck will match. Sometimes when you have a little acne or you have irritation, we have redness on our skin, our face ends up being darker than the rest of our body. I know that I have that issue. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that your face and the rest of your body will eventually be the same color. So it doesn't look like you have like a thing of makeup on your face. It takes a lot of work to look natural. I see. So we're going to close those down. Now that we know that you're going to be basically the light HD foundation, we're going to start out with the lightest color of these two for your eyelids. So we're going to take 1, 2, and I'm using a foundation brush, and I'm basically going to apply 1, 2 right on your lids, a little bit on top, and a little bit right above your eyebrows. This is a very important step now. I'm taking a sponge and I'm going to wet it. Take a little bit of spray of water. This is just plain water. We're going to wet the sponge, because you don't want, even though you want to have good coverage on your face, you don't want to look like you have a big cake, a whole bunch of stuff on your skin. So we're going to take this wet sponge. Just to show you the difference between a wet sponge and a dry sponge, here's the size of a wet sponge and the size of a dry sponge. Okay, a little bit, same sponge, but one has water. And if your face is more flaky, you can just use a little bit more moisturizer to get it to be smoothed out. Because remember, we just want to create an even tone and to cover up blemishes and not to look like you're wearing a mask on your face. So we're blending in the lighter shade on your eyelids. And we need very, very little. And by the way, the HD Dual Foundation works both as a foundation and a concealer. So once you put your foundation in, now we're going to take a little bit of, this is just the pressed powder, and you can use whatever neutral color you have. But this is the Photo Finish pressed powder. And you can take your sponge, you can take a puff, and you basically apply a little bit of powder over it. If you apply powder over a cream, it'll make sure to set it, and it's not going to make it look cakey or anything. And you're going to notice we're going to begin with our eye makeup first. The next thing we do is, this is the Finger Puffy. This makes me a professional. Nothing else but this makes me a professional. And I'm going to give you, do you have favorite colors? Do you like pinks? Do you like browns? What would you like?
I like browns a lot. Like
browns.
gold.
Browns and golds. Okay. We're going to use then the Au Naturel palette on you because you're an Au Naturel type of girl. So we're going to use the Au Naturel palette. We're going to use the neutral palette for the pressed powder. And we're going to use the light blush trio for you. All right, with these three, this combination, we're going to do your eye makeup and your face makeup. Okay, so we're going to start again with the pressed powder. So basically we take the pressed powder with the all over eyeshadow brush. And even though we did one layer, we're going to do one more layer. The key to having makeup look natural yet last is layering and blending. The next step we do is we're going to take, this is the Black Pearl Smudgeproof eyeliner. And this becomes waterproof. So if you close your eyes, when you apply eyeliner on your eyes, you want to hold the pen parallel. So it goes on very smooth. And when I say parallel, I mean this way by your eye, not straight on as a pen, because if you're going to do it, you're going to poke yourself. So you want to hold it parallel. And if you can't make a smooth line, don't be scared. All you have to do is just, if you want, you can just take it and just dab it. Dab, dab, dab. You know, you just dab it until you create a full line. And again, even if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. You do not have to be perfect to be a makeup artist. Trust me, half the things you do are not going to be perfect. So what you have to learn is how to work around them. The next thing we do is we're going to take a liner brush, okay? Now I like to keep several liner brushes around because I'm going to use actually one liner. I'm going to use this liner brush to line your eyes and to make them, now that it's lined with the black, I want to make sure that I smooth it out, because if you just have the liner, it looks a little harsh, looks a little strong. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dark brown, and then up here we have a bronzy gold color, so the brown and the gold, back and forth just twice, and I'm going to go right over your liner. What that's going to do is it's going to soften it up, and it's going to blend it together so it's not going to look harsh, and even if you made a mistake and it's not so even, it doesn't make such a huge difference. So the same thing I'm going to do to the other eye. We're just putting the brown and the gold bronzer, and we're just taking your eye and smoking it out. The next step is we're going to take the crease brush. You can open your eyes for a second. I'm going to take this crease brush, and I'm going to go back again to the darker brown and the medium brown. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go on the outside edge of your eye. Now you can close it, and I'm going to make a V. I take it up into the corner, and then I create a V into your crease. And I smooth it down, and then I work the shading inwards towards your eye, towards your inner corner of the eye. And I can go back into those same colors again, the dark and second brown shades, the darkest and the medium, and I'm basically just working a V and creating a little crease that you already have. I'm just going over your own. And And I do the same thing on the other side. I take it up from the outside liner, I take it up to your crease, and then I make a little V. See, if you open your eye, do you see what I've done? I just made a little V, taking it from up here. And I'm not taking it too far outside your eye. I'm not trying to create the cat eye. I'm trying to create more of a natural looking eye. You can always later take the natural looking eye from day into night and create a cat eye. But I figure it's still early in the day. You have time. You have time until you feel like in the cat eye mood. So if you notice, it does not have to be smooth, it does not have to be, you know, perfect, but it just has to have a little bit of the darker on the outside, and then open your eyes for a second. Like the darker on the outside, which is here, and then working its way more into the neutrals going inward. So darker going lighter as you go closer towards your nose. The next step is we're going to take, this is a mixer brush. We're going to take the bronzing gold of the mixer brush, and we're going to put that right on the edge of where the colors that I was applying stop and the light colors begin. And I'm going to go up on the top crease and work that in. And the same thing on the other side. A little bit of the bronzer, I work it right on the edge and make it go in on top of the crease. Now, here is where the magic comes in. Remember our blush palette? Open your eyes for a second. This is the blush palette. See, there's a little bit of peach, a little bit of pink, a little bit of bronzer here as well. You can take any one of these three colors, or all three, like I like to use, and make this now a part of your eyeshadow. And we're going to make this go on top of it, and then smooth it out. So all three of these shadows, and we're going to smooth it out. Now we've created many layers on top of your eye now that are going to ensure that your makeup doesn't move, but we obviously want to clean it up so it doesn't look like you have all these crazy colors going on. We're going to go back into the original palette, into the first and second of the light colors. And if you notice, these top colors, they have a little bit of a shimmer, and the bottom ones are all matte. So these we can also use for eyebrows. We're going to go into the top two light shimmer colors, and we're going to apply them right on your inner lid. And that's what's going to help smooth everything out. And we're also going to take it all the way up underneath your brow bone, and we're going to just smooth out all the color. See, so open your eye. You see the difference now between the two, how we're just softening it up? But because of all the layers you have there, that makeup is not going to move. So again, the lightest two colors in the Au Naturel palette, and in the inner corner of your lid, and then you work it towards the outside. And basically think of this as your cleanup step. So you're going to sweep everything and clean it all up so there's no rough edges. And it'll give you just a pretty soft eyeshadow look. Open. See? Natural. Oh, great. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take now our other liner brush. And if you only have one, let's say all you had was this one, all you do is you take some paper and clean off, because you might have shimmers, clean off whatever you had on this one, and then use the same one. So we're going to use the same one with the same exact colors we just used for your eyes. We're going to go like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not a lot of thinking. And I'm going to start with the upper corner of your brows. You can open your eyes. I want you to see this. You see? I'm going to actually start by the arch of your brows, and I'm going to take it up a bit, and again, get some more color, and then work it out right on top of your own eyebrows, just to sort of fill in the little sparse areas. Then we're going to take our spoolie brush and just brush everything up to give it a, it's nice, right? Just a little bit. And always try to keep this lighter than your own hair. And as I go on the outside tip, I'm only staying on the top. I'm not putting it beneath the brow hair. I'm putting it only above. So I create the little arch and then go right above. And the same thing in the other eye. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, you see where your arch is or your arch would be. You can always give it a little help. So we'll go right here and we create a little bit of an arch, and then we take it out and a little bit. And then we just always just pull the eyebrow out instead of dragging it down. And anywhere you might have any sparsity, just fill it in. And I always start in the center parts of the eyebrows, because if the color that you start out with might be too strong or too dark, it's always easier to blend it in the center than it is all the way in the front. See, once you brush it up, it looks very pretty, and remember, natural. That's the word of the day. Okay, then what we do is we're going to take some mascara, and I'm going to take a little wand. And yours are already so curled. I don't even have to curl your lashes. They're beautiful. So we're going to take a little mascara wand, and we work it in. So whenever you get mascara, you want to sort of twirl it and not pump it up and down, because when you twirl it, you get the color, and when you pump it up and down, you actually are just letting too much air in, and that might dry out your mascara. So just look down, and just open your eyes, but look down. There you go. This is a great trick for makeup artists in order to put mascara on someone, because if you're looking down and my fingers here, you can blink as much as you like. It does not affect me. And then you go in and we do the other eye. If you do this with somebody, make sure you wipe off the back of your finger before you move on to the next eye. Otherwise, there'll be some nice mascara on their lid. And the same thing we do on the other eye. Yeah, you've got beautiful lashes. There we go. Okay. And we just wipe that down. We close up our mascara. Put that away. Now, you notice that I started with your eye makeup first, right? Mm-hmm. The reason I do this is because once you do your eye makeup, you can then take your priming moisturizer, whatever was left over, and you wipe off anything that would have fallen on your face. Because quite often we put our whole foundation on all over our face, and then we do our eye makeup, and then we try to figure out what to do with anything that might have fallen down. So if you notice, you see this would have been the little makeup that would have been either in your foundation or around the area that most of us might even have dark under eye circles, so we're just adding more dark under eye circles. Not necessary. And it's, again, this is not something that we're taught, but once you start doing it once or twice, you realize how very simple it is. Yeah, we go against all the grain here. Now, here's something else that we've been taught completely different. There's the dark. Right now we're using the light HD dual foundation. In every foundation set, which is actually foundation concealer, there's a light side and a darker side. We're going to take the darker side, okay? The darker side to apply on your T-zone, which we've always been told the opposite, right?
Right.
Now let me explain to you. This is where you're going to put your blush, right? Why would you want to put a light color here? Makes no sense. This is where you have the most redness, right? If you put a light color over the redness or over any blemishes, it ends up turning chalky. It ends up actually accentuating it. So with the Eve Pearl method, we actually are going to do the dark color. And even though it's darker than your skin, not to worry, because the blush is going to go there anyway. So we are helping out the blush, and wait until you see what this is going to create contour in your face. We haven't even gotten to the contour part. Wait. Girl, this is a full... There, so we put it... And we're going to do it twice. We're going to do 2 layers. The first layer was going to get your entire face, and the second one that you're going to need a little extra, we do only with a brush. So again, the darker color we're going to put up by your forehead, because you see how the darker color just gets rid of the redness. We're going to put the darker color here on your chin, right here. And we're going to combine the darker and the lighter on your nose. A lot more of the darker. Now. And we just work that in. Okay, now we're going to take the lighter color of the Light HD Dual Foundation, the light color now. And now we're going to create some contours. Right down here, we're going to give you light. See the little cheekbones are going to be popping out? We're going to take a little bit of light and put it right here. I know you see those cheekbones, right? Okay, so we're going to put the cheekbones. And then we just sort of like sporadically place it. And then we'll come back to see what else we need. We're going to go back into our sponge, And guess what? We're gonna put more water on it because we want this first layer to go on your skin very sheer, to be very moist, especially if you might have some flakiness or dryness. We wanna make sure this just gives you enough to go into your skin, because remember, this is a line of cosmonutrients, so there's actually real nutrients in here. They're gonna be treating your skin. It's great for sensitive skin, and it's gonna give you a natural sunblock. Because yeah, astaxanthin, which is the main ingredient, that's the microalgae the salmon eats. So that's what gives the salmon the strength to swim upstream and basically so close to the surface of the water and not get burned by the sun, is because of what they eat. Yeah, it's the real deal, yeah. It's got the omega-3s and the anti-inflammatory and the line diminishers, and actually the antioxidants are 500 times more potent than vitamin E.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're gonna see your skin is actually gonna start feeling more soothed. So the first layer is we wanna make sure that we work everything and make it, because you don't need full coverage everywhere, right? You don't, like here you have nothing, why would you wanna have like a whole thing? But we wanna make sure that this is all blending into your skin. And I want you to first to touch your face. Does it feel like you have anything on?
No.
Nothing, right? It should feel like your skincare cream. Makeup shouldn't feel like, oh my God, I'm afraid to touch it. And that's just the first layer. Now we have the little marks coming out, right? Mm-hmm. Which side am I going to use?
The dark side.
Good, because if you didn't get it right, that would be it. We have to cut it off right there. I mean, I need you to pay attention because there's... So we could take a little bit, and now we're going to just go over the areas we want to have a little bit more coverage. And if you just use the tip of your brush, you know, let's say that was a little bit too much product, we get some of it off. And if you just use your brush, you'll be able to give it coverage without rubbing off. Okay, so you see how that's doing a pretty good job. You know, in some areas we might need a little bit more than others, and eventually your own hand will get comfortable doing this yourself, because I won't be there with you. In spirit, I will be there, but again, I created this line because I really grew up with really bad cystitic acne, and there was nothing out there for me. Even in my 30s, there was nothing out there for me, so I was mixing, and now I'm in my 40s. Now besides the breakouts, now I have wrinkles too. Just goes downhill from there. Eeks. So, no, but you're young and beautiful, you got everything ahead of you. Now, let's see if you are the light or the medium concealer. This is our salmon concealer. This is really what I'm known for, my salmon concealer. Now, I know that if you've ever used a concealer before, it's always been like some light color, no? Mm-hmm. We're gonna use, look at these dark colors. This is the medium. I know, like that shocked look. This is the light. I actually think the medium might work better for you. Look at this dark color, but this is the medium. Now, I always like to do one eye first for you to see what's gonna happen. And wherever you have the blueness, we're gonna put a little bit of that concealer. A little wet sponge, the same sponge with your foundation on it. And we're gonna work that in. And then we're going to blend it down and just dab, dab, dab. And take a look in the mirror. Hey, who knew? Different. You know, but it looks smooth. And we'll try the light one on the other side, and then you can choose to see which one you prefer. This is the light. We'll try the light one on the other side. I found the medium you like better, because even though this still has a salmon tone, because you have a little bit more olive in you, I think that the light might be too light. Now imagine those yellows and white colors that everyone else uses. That ends up, well, let's see though. Maybe the light will work. Oh, the light looks nice. Look, I was wrong. The light, you know what? The professional, that's why we have to look in the mirror. The mirror is your best friend. So we're gonna go back and now take the light and use the other side. And the great thing is that you can use, even that I put like now 2 layers on you, I'm gonna have you feel under your eyes. And you should be comfortable to put this in as though it was your eye cream. So you can dab this in with your finger, like that. I want you to try it yourself right now. Dab it in. And it shouldn't feel like a big, you know, it just feels like your regular eye cream. Now the little area here that's starting to show, you can also take a smaller brush, like the same that you just used for your concealer, and go back in to your darker color and just gently go over that area. And anywhere that you might, you know, for those of you that pick at your face and don't stop until there's either blood or a big boil, I'm one of those people. You know who you are. That's okay. I've admitted, you know, we've all done it, 2 o'clock in the morning, over plucked our eyebrows and over squeezed our faces. But you see how just with a smaller brush you can just go and get every one, okay? And once we powder it, it's gonna set. And you wanna also do around your lips to make sure, and anywhere that you might have a little bit more. Okay. Now the key to your makeup staying is to set it properly. We're gonna take the pressed powder and a puff. We're gonna just press on this, and we're gonna just press everything down because we're gonna layer, and we wanna make sure that your foundation is not gonna move. Because people always think, oh, powder is gonna be, it's gonna make it look cakey. No, powder is gonna be sure so it doesn't move. And if you need more, we're gonna layer it. But if you do it right, it won't look like you have a lot. Okay, and we just powder, and we're gonna go back again over one little area because these are the, you know, these are the issues you're gonna be dealing with on your own. So again, we're gonna go back to the dark and put a little bit of it here. See, the layering process will ensure the great coverage, and I'm gonna show you a great little trick. You can also, if it starts getting too, you can take a little bit of your Salmon and put it with it. Don't ever be afraid, because sometimes you actually need to add some color. Okay. Now we're just going to go straight to the powder and powder it. Okay, and when you powder, you notice I'm just patting, 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 patting. Okay. Now we're going to go into your light blush trio. Now, you might notice, gosh, there's a little peachy, a little pinky, and a bronzer. Which one do I have to use? Well, what do makeup artists do, right? We take a big palette and we go like this to the whole palette. You can do the same thing. Take a fan brush so you can't put too much product on and just go back and forth all the colors. You never have to choose. You take a little bit of the fan brush and you see how what you just smelled, how pretty that was? Right here and above. And a little bit more, and we might have to go back over that one little, because you know we all have that one little one that wants to peek out. That's okay. We have patience. A little bit. See, so basically back and forth, and you can't make a mistake with this. You see how many times I have to go over your face in order for you not to look like a clown? Mm-hmm. Usually people do not use the big fat brushes, because the big fat brushes you go over it once and you have a big fat wad of blush. But you've got to go over this several times, and you put some on the top of your forehead, and the more makeup you have on your face, the more color you need to throw back into your face so you don't look pasty. Okay? You can always, if you want to add a little bit more bronzer, just put on the bronzer and then smile and put it right on, you know, your cheek area. And we'll take care of that little fella. We'll come back to him. Sometimes you have to let your makeup sit for a minute and let it go into your skin, but I just want to show you something else. In case you should put on a little bit too much blush. Let's say I put a little bit too much blush on you, okay? Let's say it was too much. All you need to do is go back into your pressed powder with the same brush, into your pressed powder, and go right on the edges of your blush. That's going to smooth it out. So go on the edges of your blush, and that will smooth out the whole area so you won't look like, oh, you just have like a big thing of blush. Now we're going to give you a little bit of eyeliner. So I'm going to use a brown eyeliner. So look up. Look up. Great. And I'm just going to put a little liner. It's okay, you can look straight ahead, I'm sorry. I told you to look up twice and you're like, I can't look up anymore. So if you want to get it inside your eye, you basically just get it in. Or you can just do that. And we're gonna smooth that out, don't worry. Look up. And the same thing we do on the other side. Okay. Now, I want to show you a great trick. We're going to go back into our original Au Naturel palette. And you see how the one eye looks, I mean, in general, when you put liner on, you never want to leave it alone. We're going to go back into your bronzer color, and right underneath, by the way, this is a little smudger brush, and right underneath, we're going to just smudge your liner so you don't really see a thickness. And then you can always take your sponge again and you can thin everything out just by patting it around your eye. And the same thing when doing the other eye. A little bit of the bronzer right around the edges of your eye. Now this is a good time for you to look and say, wow, do I want to add a little more color somewhere else? I'm going to take the same little smudger brush into the darker brown, and I'm going to put it right on the top outside corner, just a darker brown. Close your eye for 1 second, and I'm just going to put it just a little bit on the outside corners, just to give it, because you've got such beautiful eyes. Let's see, open. So I'm going to give a little bit more darkness right there. And the same thing on the other side. Close. And just a darker brown color. We're just going to add it on the outside tip of your eye. Now I want you to see, even if you put too much of the dark color, for instance, open your eye for a second. Let's say you put a little too much color. Okay, all you do, you go back into your mixer brush with or without any more product, because there's already some color on here. Just take this and basically you work it in, and then you smush it around and you could work it out. Open your eye, you see how that smoothed it out? So blending is the key to having everything just look smooth and natural. If you blend it out, no one can see your makeup. Open. Pretty. Happy? So far? Okay, look. I see a smile, that's a good sign. All right, we're gonna go back one more time now. We're gonna take this, and I'm actually gonna take a little bit of the medium salmon concealer. I'm gonna put that right up in here. So you see, by using the salmon concealer, it helped go with the color of the blush. So I just put a little bit right here, and a little bit right up here. And we're going to take a little bit more of the darker foundation color. Okay, and you can always, let's say you put too much, you can always blend it out with your original foundation brush. So this will be something that you have to practice until your hand gets comfortable. And did you notice when I was applying things, you can use this as well. When you're applying your own eyeliner on, put your finger on the finger puff, because this way the oil in your finger is not going to take off the makeup that you just applied. So if you have to lean on your face, lean on it with the puff. It's those little things, and then you can go and help others. All right, and then we're going to go back, and what are we going to do? How are we going to put blush on you?
The fan brush.
There, look at you, fan brush. The college education is paying off. The retention is good. So, you know, you could just, if you don't want to be rubbing it, because that might take some of it off, you can just basically do this to the blush and then just place it. Okay? And smile again. Look at how beautiful cheeks you have.
Thank you.
And you know what? We didn't catch some of those down there. Do the same thing. Just place it. Place it with this. Okay, we're going to go over it with the pressed powder. And just to make sure that you don't look, you know, flat anywhere, we'll take all the blush and we'll just sort of just dab it. There. Coming together. Now I know that your lips are a little bit sensitive right now, and you have Aquaphor, which I love Aquaphor. So sometimes if you have a little bit more sensitivity, start out with the Aquaphor on your lips, and then you want to have a little bit of a neutral pencil just to help, with the redness. So what I'm going to do is, this is our Cosmo pencil, and I'm just going to outline your lips, and I'm going to just give them, they already have a great shape, but sometime with the coloring, I just want to make it look smooth. And it's better to fill in your entire lip. So we just filled in, and if it starts looking a little much, we could take a little bit of this, of a brush, and basically work it in. I'm gonna take, this is the sponge that has your foundation. I'm gonna work it around it. And now I wanna give you a little bit of our Honey Bunny Baby Doll. These are great little combination colors. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the peachy, one is a little bit more peachy. This is a favorite of brides and television anchors. So we have a little peachy, a little pinky. And if you don't feel like peachy or pinky, you could just take one of them out, and carry it by itself. So we're gonna take first a little bit of the peachy, the Honey Bunny. Put that. Okay, and then we might want to add a little pinky right here. But you really don't need both. You could just have one. There. And you can close your mouth. So basically, this would be your whole makeup application. How do you feel?
Everything's completely covered, but it still looks totally natural.
Right? And feel your face.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like caked on makeup. It just feels like, the average stuff that I would wear. And you can do this yourself, right?
Yep. I'm gonna test you. All right, well, so thank you very much, and I want to see you here next time all done up. All right, thank you.